The reason you clicked this video is because you want a fresh start. Life happened, your credit score took a hit, but I got some good news for you. You don't gotta wait 7 to 10 years for your accounts to fall off your credit report. I'm gonna show you how to get started to knock the credit barrels out. So sit back, relax, grab a pen, get some paper, get something to drink. We're gonna get straight into it. Welcome to the Credit Repair Challenge. Now, we're glad to have you, but we're going to be doing things a little bit different because we understand that when it comes to fixing your credit, it can be overwhelming. However, if you have a plan of action, a day by day on what to do, on how to get started so you can knock the credit barrels out, and once you knock the credit barrels out and fix your credit, we don't need all 3 credit scores to be above a 700. You just need to have one credit score above a 700, whether that's Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax, because once you have one of those scores above a 700, you can leverage that to get access to funds to either invest in your business or invest into income producing assets that will pay you over and over and over. All right. So we're going to talk about what to expect in the next 5 days so you too can knock credit barrels out. All right. So day 1, we're going to be talking about the credit report hack. All right. Day 2, we're going to be talking about the 24-hour personal information hack. Day number 3, we're going to be talking about those snitches. All right. Because there are people that are talking. So we got to hush them up. All right. Day number 4, we're going to be talking about the 100-point credit score hack. All right. Nobody's talking about this information, but we're going to talk about some trade lines that you can leverage to help you increase your credit score. All right. And day number 5, we're going to be talking about this new secret letter. All right. We've been seeing people get results within the first 30 days with this one specific letter, and we're going to break it down so you too can knock the credit barrels out. And most importantly, we're going to be talking about the 100K access. So once you get one of your credit scores up, you can leverage that to invest into income producing assets or invest into your business. All right. So we're going to be breaking everything down, but most importantly, it's a day by day action plan so you don't feel overwhelmed with this information. All right. So we'll see you on day 1 so you can get started to knock the credit barrels out. So I'll see you on day 1. Congratulations. Welcome to day number 1. We're going to be talking about the credit report hack. All right. Breaking everything down because, hey, the credit bureaus don't want you to know this information. They don't want you to be weaponized. They don't want you to have it. So we're going to break it down, reveal it. But a disclaimer, I will let you know that I'm not a lawyer. I'm just here to show you your rights. All right. So 15 USC 1681 EB. All right. As you can see right here, whenever a consumer reporting agency prepares a consumer report, it shall, keyword shall, follow reasonable procedure to assure maximum possible accuracy of the information concerning the individual about whom the report relates. So what does that mean? When Experian, when TransUnion, when Equifax, and other consumer reporting agency that prepares your report is supposed to assure maximum possible accuracy. Very important. That's the reason why you can, even though you owe the money, even though you have accounts that's been charged off or whatever the case may be, even though all that might have happened, the fact still remains that Experian, TransUnion, Equifax supposed to assure maximum possible accuracy. They're supposed to assure that these accounts, the details that's within your specific account, are supposed to be accurate. And if it's not, you can leverage that to get it removed from your credit report. We're not talking about you owing the money. We're not talking about you disputing the debt. We're talking about the information that's within the specific account, and we're going to break it down. So if you don't have a credit report, I'll have a link for you so you can get started, so you can understand and look at your credit report and see if Experian, TransUnion, Equifax are assuring maximum possible accuracy. All right. So as you can see, here's an example. Step 1, what you want to do is investigate the completeness and accuracy of all your negative accounts, whether that's a charge off, a repossession, collection, bankruptcy, child support, any negative account that's holding your credit score back, right? Any negative account, it don't matter. If it's negative and it's hurting your credit score, you want to investigate the completeness and accuracy of that specific account, all right? Because as you saw right here, Experian TransUnion Equifax to assure maximum possible accuracy, all right? So what you want to do is get access to your report and see is TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax are following the law. That's what you want to see. You want to look at the details of within the specific account. So you just want to go account number, account type, bureau code, account status, monthly payment, all right? Date open. But most of the time, as you can see, the ones that are circled are the most of the times are ones that are incorrect, all right? So as you can see, the date open is different from Experian and Equifax. So how do you know which date is correct? Because that's very important, all right? Also, last reporting date, as you can see, is totally different. One says one specific date, another one says another specific date. And as you can see, Equifax show a whole different date. And this date is very important, all right? Date last active, very important as well. And as you can see, hey, Equifax doesn't have nothing, all right? Date of last payment is different. And as you can see, TransUnion, Experian is not showing the actual payment status of. As you can see, Equifax is showing okay, but TransUnion Experian is not. And you can leverage this. You don't need all of this, but you're going to be able to leverage this information to help you get this account removed, whether you owe the money or not. All right. But I want to go over another example, all right, so you can start to understand and see what we're seeing when it comes to these negative accounts that's on people's credit reports. So as you can see, the account number, account type is going down. And as you can see, date open is different. Like I said, most of the time it's going to be different. As you can see, the high credit is different. As you can see, the credit limit is different. Past due, last reported is different. And then date last active, as you can see, is different. It's not consistent. One showing October, one showing November, one showing June. All right, same thing. All right, date of last payment is shown a little bit different, and also most of the time, some of the times, your payment history might be reported different as well. So you can leverage that information to help you remove that account. We're going to be talking about how to create your letter in day number 5. So, but we just want to look over the report and do some things first before we actually create your first letter to knock credit bureaus out. So I want to go over another example or another derogatory account that might be hurting your credit score. So as you can see right here, let's go over same exact thing. Let's go over each one, but most of the time, as you can see, date open is different. High credit, different. Last reported, different. Date last active, different. Date of last payment, different. Look at the payment history. Doesn't make sense. All right. TransUnion is not showing nothing. Experian not showing. It's showing charge off / collection. All right. Equifax is showing on time payments. It doesn't make no sense at all. So you can use this to help you remove accounts off or remove this account off of your report, even though life happened, even though you might owe the money. All right. So another example, sometimes this might happen as well, where it's only reporting on TransUnion and Experian, but it's not reporting on Equifax. And the reason why it's not reporting on Equifax because Experian, this specific account doesn't have to report to all 3 credit bureaus. All right. So you might see only 2 out of the 3, or sometimes even 1 out of the 3, but usually it's 2 out of the 3. Okay. And or all 3 is basically reported to Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, or even it might be showing 2 out of the 3. But since you understand this is a third-party vendor that's getting access to your report, sometimes your Equifax account might be a little bit lower down. So it might be the same exact account, but it's not reported with all 3, showing all 3 just side by side like this. All right. So sometimes this account might be separate, right? It might be by itself, all right? So what you want to do is just look for it to see if it's by itself and just go, line item by line item and see is the date open like we showed before. Is it showing, as you see right here, it's showing inaccurate. As you can see, last reporting is showing the same one here, but Equifax, if you look to see if the account is reported somewhere else, it might be showing different. Date last active, different. Date last payment showing same one here, but it might be showing different on Equifax, okay? And as you can see, okay, 30, okay, 30, 60 doesn't make sense, all right? So you can leverage this to help you remove this account off your credit report, all right? Now, here's another example. Hey, just break it. I just want you to see it over, because once you see it over and over and over and over again, you're gonna be like, all right, this isn't too hard for me to do. This isn't too hard for me to spot out these errors that's on these specific credit reports, all right? So go get your report and just look at the date open. You're gonna see the inconsistency, all right? Look at the last reporting date. You're gonna see the inconsistent information. Look at the date last active, different, all right? Look at the payment history. It's gonna be different, all right? So your homework is getting access to your reports, all right? And one more thing, the more you post in the community about fixing your credit and doing certain things, all right, guess what? You're gonna see that you're gonna be able to get access. Well, when people like or comment with or engage with your specific comment when you post in the community, you're going to have the opportunity to win money. All right, I'm gonna show you. Hold on 1 second. Here's what I'm talking about. As you can see, the leaderboards. All right, so 7 day, 30 day, all time. All right, so every 30 days, number 1, number 2, number 3 will have the opportunity to win money. All right, and this refreshes every 30 days. All right, so what you want to do is post in the community, and you get a point for anybody to like. Anybody that likes your post or comments, you get points. Engages with your post. All right, so some of the things you want to have is post some pictures, post a poll, post certain things, post what's going on, and you remove some personal, like we're gonna be talking about all that, but just post, be engaged with the community, like other people's stuff, encourage them and congratulate them. I just wanted to be a community where everybody's knocking the credit bureaus out, excited to get access to funding. All right, so your homework is get your report, get your credit report, and post it or mark it up, post it in the community, show like you taking action. All right, be engaged. Welcome to day number 2. Day number 1, you sure already took action, saw your credit report. If you haven't, go watch day 1 and look at your credit report, see what's going on. Credit report hack. Now, day number 2, what we're going to be talking about is your personal information. We want to clean this up, all right? We're going to be able to remove some of our personal information within the next 24 to 72 hours, all right? So let's get into it. If you don't have an account with Experian, you can Google free account with Experian, so you get access to your free credit report. All right, I'll have the link below so you can get access to that. But you're going to be able to get access to that and then create your account. Now, once you're inside your account, as you can see, you want to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to see these 3 different tabs. You want to click on Help Center. All right, now once you click on Help Center, you want to click on File a Dispute. All right, and then from there, what you want to do is just click on Start a New Dispute, and then from there, now sometimes Experian always kind of change up their back end a little bit, but you want to look for the Personal Information tab. And once you click on the Personal Information tab, you're going to see all your addresses, different names, your employer history, your phone number. All right, you're going to see a lot of personal information. All right, so what we want to do is just look at each one of those. All right, like I said before, date of birth, phone numbers, employers. You're going to see all this information, and then you're going to click on, as you can see right here, you're going to click on each one of these, and then you're going to click on which one is relevant to you. All right, did you ever live at that address? Does it belong to another person? Is it identity theft? Is it inaccurate? All right, so only you know what's going on with that specific address, and then you click on next. All right, now once you click on next, you're going to be able to add up to 5 disputes at a time. But once you add up five disputes, then click on submit your dispute, and then go back and do another five, and then go back and do another five, go back and do another five until everything is disputed and is watched. And you're going to see those some of those addresses get removed within the next 24 to 72 hours. All right. So what we want to do next is go to TransUnion and do the same exact thing. I'm gonna have the link for you to get access to your TransUnion report. But you're gonna click on, like, once you create an account, you're gonna click on log in. All right. And then from there, what you're gonna do is just click on start request, and then start a new request. And then as you can see, you're gonna see all your personal information, just like on Experian. You're gonna see your personal information that's gonna be inaccurate. All right. So you just want to click on delete, delete, delete. All right. And then from there, you want to do the same exact thing for your addresses. All right. Just click on delete, delete. Is a little bit different from Experian. All right. And then from there, same thing. Phone numbers. And you want to remove those phone numbers as well. And then click on submit, and then watch your stuff get removed within the next 24 to 72 hours, like clockwork. All right. Then when it comes to Equifax, all right, same exact thing. I'll have the link for you. And then just register, create your account, and then once you're inside, you're going to see the personal information tab, very important. And then from there, you're going to click on dispute this, dispute this, dispute this, personal information. And then from there, what you want to do is just click on um, their employer address, and then dispute if it's inaccurate. And then the addresses, if it, the names, whatever is inaccurate, just dispute it. All right. And then from there, your homework is log into these accounts. All right. Log in, look at your personal information, dispute the ones that are inaccurate, post in the community tab that, hey, I got this delete. Hey, post in the results. In the results tab, showing that you got deletions within the first 24 to 72 hours of your personal information. All right. Like I said before, the more you post, the more that you're engaged with the community, you have the opportunity to win some money. All right. So it's time to knock the snitches out, right? But you already analyzed your credit report. You saw all the negative accounts that's holding your credit score back. But most importantly, you also saw the information that are attached to those negative accounts. And now it's time to hush these snitches. Now you're probably wondering, yo, who are the snitches? How do I obtain my report? How do I freeze them? We're going to walk you through the whole process on how to do everything step by step by step, right? So, who are the snitches? Now, there are multiple people that are telling you, and I want to go over, not just the big ones that are out there, but other people that you probably don't even know about. So, when it comes to employment screening, like if you're looking for a job, these are the places that they're checking to verify and do an accurate background check to see like what's reported on you. So, if you want to see what's reported on you, you can actually obtain these reports. How do you obtain these reports? You go to these specific places right here, and you can obtain them. Go to accuratebackground.com, as you can see, Assurant.com, and these different CCC Verify, Experian Verify, as you can see, Experian Verify. So if Experian Verify have information on you that's reported to Experian, guess what? They got a lot of things going on. So this is what I want you to see, what's going on behind the scenes. If you're trying to apply for, not trying to apply for, if you're trying to get into an apartment or apply for to live into an apartment, you're going to see information from these specific places that are actually reporting to when you apply for apartment, right? So they're doing the background check and see like, are you a good renter, or have you ever had an eviction and things like that. So these are the places you can actually go to double check to see what's actually being reported on you if you're in the process of trying to get a new apartment, or if you're in the process of doing that whole process. So also, you already know these are the places, some of the places that actually check for your bank account. So if you go apply for a checking account, savings account, these are the places that are going to. Now, some banks don't actually do checking systems. They have their own method or own ways to acquire your information. So, but if you are in check systems, or if you can't get approved for a bank account, you want to grab one of these reports and see why, and see what's been reported on you, so you can actually update it correctly, and do what you need to do so you can get access to a checking account or a bank account, right? Personal property insurance, right? As you can see, these are the places that actually are important when it comes to personal property insurance. So these are places you want to check to see what's reported on you as well. Medical, these are the places like if you have things going on with medical. These are the places that are important for your medical. So grab it and see what's being reported on your medical. Also, this is low income subprime, right? So these are the places that are pulling those information when it comes to like low income subprime areas. So go to these places. You want to order these reports, and some of these places are linked with experience. I mean, the big major three credit bureaus. So this is how they're getting information, and you don't even know, right? So supplementary reports, right? See, these are other reports that are also some of the big ones that are also reported information and has gathered information on you. So what you want to do is acquire the information to see what's holding you back. Utilities report. Hey, if you ever been, what's going on with your utilities, you can also see. And then these are like the main corporate, like all them other people telling on you, but like these like the big ones that we want to hush up, knock out, and things like that. We want to gather the actual report and see what's reported on us, right? LexisNexis, CoreLogic, SageStream, Innovis, Fact Trust, Clarity, ARS, DataX, LCI, MicroBilt, Teletrack. Like these are the places you want to like really get that report and see what's reported, so you can see what they're talking about when it comes to communication. And if you can remove some of the accounts off of these specific accounts, and if if Experian, TransUnion, Equifax are communicating with the secondary agencies, and you see where I'm going with this? If we remove the accounts off the secondary agencies and you dispute, now it's making it much easier for the things that come off your credit report, if you understand what I'm saying. Now how do you hush them up? All you have to do is just Google freeze Innovis credit report, and then this should pop up. Like one of these should pop up, and then you just click on it and just go through the steps and freeze every last one of them that I talked about on this, right? So I'm just giving you another example: freeze Factor Trust credit report, and bam, you can do the same thing, and then same thing with Clarity Services. I think they're linked with Experian, and you just freeze them as well. And then how do you obtain the report? You do this like you just Google Innovis service. I messed up on this one, but credit report, and then you should be able to obtain that specific credit report when it comes to Innovis, right? For the next one, SageStream, same thing. Just Google SageStream credit report, and then you should be able to order that credit report. Same thing for LexisNexis. Man, once you get your LexisNexis report, you're gonna see what we talking about. You're gonna see a lot of information. They got a lot. So I advise you to order this report, LexisNexis credit report. And then, have you ever got like letters in the mail saying that you pre-qualify for this credit card, you pre-qualify for this, or you might qualify for this card, you just got, you want to opt out of this, right? Because what I don't want to happen is you get you start, as you're improving your credit, you're building credibility, you're doing the things, you're sowing, and eventually you're gonna start reaping some things. But what I don't want you to get is a credit card that you don't need right now, right? Because you're gonna get tempted with different offers saying that you are pre-approved for this, you are pre-approved for this credit card, you're pre-approved for this credit card. But what I don't want to happen is for you to apply for these credit cards or get tempted to actually apply, because we're doing necessary steps to fixing our credit and building a strong credit profile, a well-diverse credit profile, so we can have anything that we want if we want to use our credit, right? But what I want you to do is not, I want you to opt out as of right now, and then later on you can opt back in once like everything is complete and you got everything in order to how you want it to have it ordered. But go to opt out pre-screen. And what's going to happen is they're going to stop sending you pre-approval offers. Nobody's going to be able to access and send you information that you don't want as of right now when it comes to these places.
Okay, guys, so 100-point credit score hack day 4. Okay, let's get it. All right, so what makes up your actual credit score? What makes up your credit score is your payment history, your utilization, which is amounts owed, your average age of credit history, and your credit mix and new accounts. So Payment history is 35% of your score. It's the most impactful one, and this is what I tell people to try to focus on the most. If you can remove the negative payments from your credit score, your credit should jump up the most. And I'm going to show you, like, you know, what could or couldn't happen. Okay, and then on number 30% amount owed. Now this is the easiest way to increase your credit score, and you can just do it by yourself by just simply paying your bills. Now it could be hard or it could be easy depending on how much debt you owe. All right, and then you got length of credit history. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on that. And then you got 10% new credit and 10% credit mix, which is hard inquiries, and it's just different type of accounts: student loans, mortgages, revolving credit, lines of credit, stuff like that. Okay, so let's get into it. So let's break down like how many points are out there that you can potentially gain or lose at any given time. So if your score can go up, it can also go down, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so 300 points is the lowest point total that you can have. The highest is 850. All right, so let's break 550 points down into specific categories. So 35% right here. So when it says 0.35, that's just think of that as 35%, and then so on and so forth. Okay, so 192 total points that you can be losing by simply getting late payments on your credit card, mortgage, or whatever, right? So we never ever want to miss a late payment or do anything like that, because that can take you from 700 to 400. All right, I mean, my bad, 700 to 500 really easy. All right, now amounts owed. Now this is the one that we can control simply by just paying down our debts or never using our credit card. So 550 times 0.30 amounts owed is 165 points. So I'm going to go into how to manipulate that score, how to control that score, and how to manage that score a little bit. Then you got your age. 15% is 82 points, and that's a lot of points when you're dealing with trying to go from let's say 690 to 700. That's 10 points within the age that you can get. All right, so credit mix and new accounts, those 55 points each, and I'm gonna show you how to increase those, and those can probably be like the second easiest to manipulate or get points added back. Now let's talk about payment history. All right, so when I'm looking at over here, I'm looking at my actual screen, so I just want to make sure I'm saying the right things to you guys. So let's say you made 10 on-time payments on your loan, but you were late on one of those payments, right? So here's how you calculate your on-time payments percentage. Okay, so if you made 9 out of 10 payments, you got 90 percentile, right? But when you're dealing with late payments, they go by percentage points, by 1 percentage point. So I did another thing down here. So this means that you're 90% on time with your payments. If you're 90% on time with your payments, you are going to lose most of those points, almost most of those points. So out of 190 points or 180 some points, out of 192 points of that, you're probably going to lose maybe 170 if you only paid your bills 90% of the time. All right, so I would say, would you want to, okay, so let's go right here. All right, so 99 out of 100 is 99%. 95 out of 100 is 95%. 19 out of 20 is also 95%. So let's say hypothetically you got one loan and you paid on time every time for 20 months, but then you got one late payment. Let's just say you got one late payment out of 20 months. It's actually worse if you only got 20 payments. That's why me and Dave also tell people, hey, get as many accounts as you can, reporting on time, and make those payments. So if you got one account and you pay 20 times, but then let's say you got 5 accounts at the same time and you pay 5 times, you can easily get 100% on time payments and 100. And let's say you do miss a payment. If you got 100 on-time payments and you only miss one, you in the 99 percentile. So the way it works with payment history is, if you miss 99% payment, you probably lose 10 points. If you're in the 95 percentile on late payments, you're probably gonna lose 120 points. But if you're in the 90 percentile, you're gonna lose majority of your points, okay? So just make sure to have a bunch of accounts that has on-time payments, because if you don't have a bunch of accounts with on-time payment, if you miss one payment, it can ruin your credit score. So let's do amounts owed. So amounts owed is like revolving credit. So let's see, I'll put the credit card limits up there so you guys can understand why it is so imperative that you understand this information. Because I got like $50,000 credit cards, right? So I can spend more than the average person, but it is harder to pay back. All right, so 165 points. So let's say if you have a $500 credit card, if you spend $50 off that card, no biggie. But the moment you spend $150 off that credit card, your score starts to go down. You're in you'll probably lose. Looking at these numbers, you'll probably lose maybe 70 points, 50 points. So if you're 30% utilization, you'll probably lose 50 points. But if you're 50% utilization, you'll probably lose like 140 points off your credit score. Now, when dealing with different credit card limits, and this is why it's so important, when dealing with different credit card limits, you can spend more money, right? So I had people like, they'll get a credit card and it'll be a $500 limit, or that $300 limit card because it's a secured card, okay? But then, you know, you'll get somebody who has a $50,000 limit card like me. I can go out and purchase furniture and still be under 10%. But somebody with a $500 limit or a $5,000 limit, they can't purchase furniture or something like that with their card without losing points. See, me, I can do that because I have a big limit, overall limit. And it's not just one credit card, it's multiple credit cards, okay? So, Bank of America credit card, Truist, right? So I got multiple credit cards with limits of 20,000, 10,000 plus. So I can spend more and not hurt my score. So somebody with a $300 limit can't even put gas in their car without hurting their score. You understand? So I really hope y'all understand. So now let's talk about credit age. So credit age is kind of tricky because you can only do that by just getting new credit over and over and over. But your age is hurt every time you apply for new credit, right? So let me try to make sure I can explain it the right way. So let's say you have 3 different credit cards, and the ages of those credit cards, you got one 10 years ago, you got one 5 years ago, and you got another one 5 years ago. To find the average age, you'll add up the number of cards you got and you'll add up the age of the cards, and then you'll divide by the number of the cards, okay? So you got 10 years, you got 5 years, you got another 5 years. So that's 20 years of overall history, but then you got to divide by how many cards you got. So 20 years divided by 3 cards is now 6 years of credit history. So the average age of your credit history is 6 years. So the hard thing about this is because like a lot of people don't just go out and get credit for no reason. So let's say you get a car 10 years ago, but then you get a car now, and then you add up, okay, I got 10 years on this car got 0 years. Let's add them together. 10 years plus 2 times 2 cards is 5 years credit history. You understand what I'm saying? So what I tell people is go get credit cards or go get loans or lines of credit all at one time when you don't need your credit, right? Because we want to nurture our age of credit history. So what I'm showing you right now is if your age is between 0 to 2%, that's very bad. 2 to 5, that's okay. 5 to 10 is that sweet spot. And I just made these numbers up because FICO didn't have a real number for it. So if you have 10 credit cards and they're all kind of sporadic, you'll never ever get your credit age up into the 2.5. But if you get, let's say 10 lines of credit or credit cards all at one time, and 5 years from now, all your credit ages be like 5 years, right? And as soon as you get your new one, it'll be 10 accounts that's 5 years and 1 account with 1 month. So then when you add it together, it'll still be in that 5 to 4 age range, 5 to 4 year age range. Now, we want to talk quickly about credit mix and new credit. So credit mix is your different type of loans, your student loans, your auto loans, your revolving credit and stuff like that. All right. And your new credit is simply just getting new credit, right? When you get new credit, you know, your score fluctuate. But this one in particular is hard inquiries. If you have no hard inquiries, you got all 55 points. The moment you apply for something, you start losing points on your credit score. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to actually hack that credit score so you can get over a 100-point increase, okay? So when we add backdated history, two things happen. We get a count mix, but we also don't get a hard inquiry. We don't get a hard inquiry, so our 55 points is safe, all right? But also we get backdated history. See, with these companies, you can backdate your history up to 7 years, most of them, okay? So you can go to rentreporters.com, rentalkarma.com, or this one right here is called Boom Pay. All right, this one is called Boom Pay. I'll drop the link down below. And then you can also, if you already got Identity IQ, you can report your history with Identity IQ. Now, I know I said a lot. So what I want you to do is I want you to pay down your credit cards if you have some, because we need to stay under 10%. We need to add some history without getting a hard inquiry. And this is how we were able to increase our clients' credit scores up to 100 points on average, okay? So for your homework, you're gonna have homework. I want you to actually, get one of these, Rent Reporters, Rental Karma, Boom Pay, or Identity IQ, and I want you to report your rent, and I want you to drop it right here inside the group so people can know, like, hey, this is a possibility. Because I want more people to watch this content, and I want more people to actually come in and get results, okay? So if I can help you, can you help me by just doing that, just sharing your testimonial? Show me if your score went up, it went down, and let's make this community thrive, and let's pass out this information to everybody who's watching, okay? So with that being said, I'll see you on the other side of good credit. Peace out. All right, what's going on, guys? So this is the 100K hack. Now you're gonna see me look over here. My computer's over here, but the camera's over here. So if I'm not looking at you guys, don't worry about it. This is gonna be very, very informational. So I really want you guys to pay attention, eliminate distractions if you can, and watch this more than one time, because I'm gonna go through it, and let's go. So the 100K hack was made by us because we realized that $100,000 was very attainable if you use like lines of credit or credit cards. So we started this group. It might still be on Facebook. It was called Financially Lit, and we got a cease and desist from the people who own Financially Lit. That I guess they own a trademark or something. So we changed the name, and that kind of messed us up because it made our group a little bit stale because we changed it to something else. I forgot what we changed it to. You can probably try to look it up. But we were able to get a lot of people funding in that group, simply because we help a lot of people in that group fix their credit. So anybody that went through our credit repair program or our process that got tremendous results, we put in that group, and then we were having them, apply for different lines of credit and stuff like that. We were telling them the data points on how to get funding and stuff like that. So I'm guessing that's what we're going to plan to do for you guys as well. But before that, we had to teach like very specific lessons. We had people that came in the group. They didn't listen, so they got approved, but it was like $5,000, maybe $10,000. But then when we really started to ramp it up, people were getting approved for $50,000 and some even $70,000. I wish I still had those screenshots, but if you go in the group, you'll see it. Well, on that note, I'm about to go ahead and I'm about to teach you some things, how to get 20K credit card or 20K lines of credit and stuff like that, okay? So these are the 3 things that we found that was holding people back, especially the people in the group that was like jumping the gun, trying to get funding as fast as they can instead of waiting. Waiting is going to be the most crucial part of getting your funding. So step number 1, the reason you should wait is because you need to see if your business is high risk. I'm probably going to go over that a little bit later. Step number 2, you can't look thirsty for credit. You really can't look desperate. So the desperate person never gets credit. The people that don't need credit is the people who have it the most. If you go down your block, or if you can look around your neighborhood or look at your family or whatever, you see the people who don't need credit always almost got it all the time. I think people who need credit is the people who suffer the most, and the people who don't suffer the most seem to have this thing figured out. Don't be looking thirsty for credit, and people will give it to you. And then lastly, you got to understand the banking system. It took me a while to understand what make banks want to give you money. And after we found out what make banks want to give you money, we said that we taught it to all our peoples, and we were able to help them get over $1 million in funding for their businesses. So high risk businesses. So adult entertainment, gambling, casinos, cannabis, telemarketing, travel agencies, e-commerce businesses, especially those with high ticket items or in niches with high chargeback rates. Our business, right? Cryptocurrency, multi-level marketing, debt collection agencies. Yeah, they don't get funding either. Firearm dealers, and there's like a list of 25 that I want to name off, but I couldn't fit it on this page, so I just did the top 10. If you're in any of these industries or something like that, just Google it. The SBA, I think it's also on the SBA website where you can find out if you're a high-risk business. Part of the battle of getting funding, especially a lot of it, is to know if you're in a high-risk business or not. Because if you are in a high-risk business, you're going to be trying to get loans from places like On Deck, Capital on Tap, all these places the internet gurus told you to go to, which really ain't the places you should be going. Okay? So, high-risk businesses, like why they struggle to get funding. So lenders prefer stability. Banks and investors want to reduce their risk. They prefer to fund businesses with steady income, a proven business model, and lower chances of defaulting on loans. So I love to say the truth is kind of hidden in the lie. Well, what makes people risky is the exact opposite of what makes them not risky, if that makes any sense. So if you can prove all of these things for your business, then you're not a risky business, no matter like what industry you're in. Okay. So more requirements. High risk businesses may need to provide more documentation, collateral, pay higher interest rates to get approved for funding. So like I said, the stuff that you may have to prove, you just may have to prove it, and that's fine. If you need to show more documentation, make more documentation. Come up with more documentation. If you need collateral, provide collateral. It's not that hard. Or you can pay a higher interest rate. I'm not doing that, and I wouldn't tell y'all to do that either. So, strict regulations. Certain high-risk industries may face regulations that make it harder for them to even apply for loans. I don't think that really applies to most businesses. So like if you own a gun shop or something like that, you're not going to get no SBA loan. Adult entertainment, you're not going to get no SBA loan for that. But there are ways around it, and we taught it to our students. So looking for too much credit. Hard inquiries can lower your credit score. Little do people know, they're going to pull your personal credit when you try to go get business money. There's no way around it unless you already have a business that's cash flowing and you file 2 years tax return and your business can self-sustain, right? But most people who start their businesses aren't in that category just yet. So most lenders view multiple inquiries as desperation. Like I told you before, you don't want to look too thirsty. You don't want to be the guy at the bar buying all the girls' drinks, because then you're just somebody who's creepy and annoying. All right, so increased debt to income ratio rates. Now, what happens is a lot of people don't take into consideration their debt to income ratio. So if you got a house, you got a car, but then you get a bunch of lines of credit or something to fund your business on the personal side, they can see that, right? When you get funding on the business side, they can't see, even though they're banks, they can't see how much money you owe on the business side. But if you do it on the personal side, which is why some people got caught up in our group when we told them not to, they got a bunch of personal credit first, and then they went to get the business, which is the actual opposite of what you should be doing. All right, so new credit affects your credit age. See, what happened was, if you watched the other video where we talked about credit, how to read your credit score and how to determine how many points you're going to get. As you can see, once you get new credit, your score is going to go down because of the age of credit history. So you can tank your score by X amount of points. So your credit score is going to go down, you're going to have more hard inquiries, and your age is going to suffer. So they don't even know if they can trust you in business. So timing matters. That's the next one. So what we told our people was, hey, look, you know when the hard inquiries are coming off, you know when you should take them off. You can remove the hard inquiries after you get approved and stuff like that. But that's later on. It's gonna be some good information. So, and the effects on personal credit, all that matter when you're going to get business funding, no matter what anyone says to you. So, tips to avert hurting your credit chances. Limit the hard inquiries. Actually, pause this because I'm about to speed through this one. Shop around carefully. Build business credit first. Let me talk about that real quick. Before applying for big loans or high limit credit cards, establish a business credit by paying off smaller lines of credit and vendor accounts. Well, we don't want you to get no vendor accounts, and we do want you to pay out those smaller lines. Space out applications. We usually tell people to space out applications, but once we remove those hard inquiries, nobody will know that you even got a line of credit or some type of credit with a bank. All right, so understanding the banking system. Banks get paid, quite frankly, you just need to know banks get paid for lending money. So by leveraging business credit, you can take the banking system's willingness to lend and use that money to grow your business. All right. So banks want to lend because they make money from it. Quite frankly, yeah. And you, as a business owner, well, you can use that to your advantage. Have access to business credit. Having access to business credit allows you to invest in opportunities, manage cash flow, scale faster, and if you're relying solely on your own cash reserves. Okay, so the key is to use it wisely and strategically. You're growing your business in a sustainable way while keeping your financial health intact. All right, so if you follow our steps step by step in the right way, you can be like this young lady right here. Her name is Nicole with a K, our best student. She has over $1 million in business credit. She's still actively getting more business credit. She's doing what we call double dipping. She's creating multiple LLCs and she's going back and creating relationships with these same banks that she already got a relationship with. And this can be you if you want it to be. I think she's going to start teaching how to get business credit soon, but the same thing she's going to be teaching is the same thing we taught her way back when. The game didn't change. It's just, you just got to know what to do and know what to look for. So your homework today, what I want you to do is I want you to create a relationship with some type of bank. If you do not have your LLC, I want you to get your LLC and get this business bank account. And if you need help with that, just join our paid group. We walk you through the step-by-step process of how to do that. Some of you are going to want to start industries where you don't want people to look you up. We're going to show you how to go and have somebody else do your LLC. You can file it in Wyoming or Delaware if you don't want nobody to know that you own it. And I think that's about it. So if you want to get $1 million in funding, I think it's well worth it. Just fix your credit and go get the funding for your business and then start another business, get funding for that business, and then do it again and again and again. Me and Dave have multiple LLCs across the board that already got funding, so we can show you the exact step-by-step process. So with that being said, do your homework, post in the group. What I want you to do is, once you start your business bank account, I want you to post it in the group and tell everybody you did it. If you just started and you got your LLC, I want you to get another one, put it on the back burner, get your domain and stuff like that, and post it in the group, man. I'm so excited that you guys are here. With that being said, I'll see you on the other side of good credit. Peace out.